Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The thing is, I'm an inveterate trial watcher. Ever since the first days of court TV, I have been captivated by watching this type of reality TV unfold in front of our eyes. It fits in with my penchant for mysteries and thrillers and the things that I read and now the things that I'm writing. Watching a trial and watching real life lawyers, witnesses, judges actually play this game of argument has always been fascinating to me. I was glued to the O.J. trial, glued to the Casey Anthony trial, and now I have been glued, I confess, to the Jodi Arias trial. And we're currently, today is Tuesday, the 7th of May, and jury's been out almost 9 hours, I guess, deliberating this verdict. And it seems to me that there are some interesting ideas to explore in kind of stepping back and watching this whole process. I find it very interesting that in all three of these trials, the media has been blatantly supportive of guilty verdicts. Certainly with the O.J. case, and certainly with the Casey Anthony case, and certainly with the Jodi Arias case, although I must say that there have been more opinions portrayed by the HLN network on Jodi's behalf but the vast majority of the media really is in favor of a guilty verdict and is waiting for that. It's kind of interesting. It's like going to the Daytona 500 or any of the other NASCAR races and waiting for, as we saw last week at Talladega, the big one, the crash. It's kind of morbid or I don't know, obscene almost to be thinking in those terms. On the other hand, man's inhumanity to man is pretty amazing sometimes. I mean, think of Nicole Simpson, Ron Goldberg, and the way they were so brutally attacked and murdered. Think of what happened to little Kaylee Anthony, if we ever will know what happened to her specifically. And then, holy cow, think of what happened to Travis Alexander. It really defies belief to think that this guy was stabbed, and I don't know, 27, 29 times. His throat was slit to where he was almost decapitated, and he was shot in the head. It's hard to believe that that was an act of self-defense, but we don't know. We weren't there. And of course, that's the fascination of our system. So in the O.J. case, jury comes back not guilty. In the case of the Anthony case, jury comes back not guilty. Everybody's surprised. I mean, even as part of the Jodi Arias coverage, we have the judge from the Casey Anthony trial now coming out publicly and saying he was really surprised at the verdict, and he had to read it twice to make sure that it was the right verdict. Those are the kinds of things that happen in these surprise verdicts. And it goes to show you that the people that make up the juries in these cases are human beings. I don't think anybody wants to put another person to death, and certainly the death penalty is in play here with Jodi Arias. And I would not be at all surprised if the verdict was first-degree murder and the sentence was eventually, after some other courtroom activities, the sentence came down to be death. That would not surprise me. Likewise, it would not surprise me if there was enough reasonable doubt that that Jodi was. I guess you can't acquit her because she already admitted that she did it, but perhaps the self-defense, that enough people believed the self-defense idea that she would somehow escape relatively unscathed. I don't know. But neither one of those would surprise me because we have evidence that it's happened before. And the thing is, it's part of the mosaic of our humanness when we have these kinds of reality events played out in the public forum, which of course we know is TV. I can understand why a lot of judges and lawyers don't want their cases to be televised. On the other hand, I'm waiting for the next big case now to come along. I guess it's going to be the Trayvon Martin case that will be on Court TV, because I'm fascinated, as I think a lot of people are fascinated, by watching this unfold in reality. When we watch a TV lawyer show or a TV mystery series, we have that same kind of fascination, but way down inside we understand this is a story. Somebody wrote this. This is a product of someone's imagination. Things move along outside of the space of real time. But when you're watching a trial, as we are the Arias trial, or we did the Arias trial, this was happening in real time. Now, I find it very interesting. In the beginning, the HLN network was cutting away from the testimony and going to commercial, and then came back and you would pick up the testimony. Well, what was happening is we were missing a lot of the stuff during these commercials, and everybody, including me, was getting really frustrated with, we're missing important stuff here for this commercial. Crass commercial announcements. And so I guess there must have been enough complaints to HLN that finally what they did is they hit this, they came up with this idea of this fictitious pause and play button. And so what they would do is they would stop their live feed, go to commercial, and then when they came back, they would pick up the live feed. Well, this made this trial run into the evening hours, and we were still watching testimony. I, of course, being the technical guru that I am, soon realized that I could watch the live feed of the trial on my computer and not have any commercials, not have any commentators telling me what I just saw or what I should be thinking, but I could just watch the trial and I could make my own assumptions. And so that's basically what I did when I had a moment to do that. Always knowing that I could tune into HLN and find out what I had missed. So anyway, I'm just fascinated by that, and I'm waiting for the verdict to come down and to see how we're going to proceed. It's a thing, it really is, and I don't know how many of you are fascinated by that. Maybe it's just me, and maybe it's sort of a faux pas of my personality, but things like that play into lots of other aspects of what I'm doing. I'm trying to write some mystery stories, and I'm trying to do some other things, and it's really fascinating. By the way, I'm here in my new office in the Honors College. You can't see much of it because it's just a white wall back there behind me. One of these days I'll pick up the camera and I'll pass it around, and it's probably more clean and tidy than than it will be pretty soon. I'm working on preparing my classes for the fall. Had the summer off, but I'm been doing some composing on a variety of projects actually, and writing the trying to get another 20,000 words in the Nick Flemons saga down there in Clearwater, Florida. So I hope you'll follow my my website, jamesschrader.com, www.jamesschrader.com, and there are links to the blog there as well, and probably a link to The Thing Is. Moxie's not here, so I basically have to produce this show myself. Moxie's at home, been home for quite a while now, probably has legs crossed and waiting for me to get home to give her some relief, and then maybe tonight the two of us can sit down and edit this raw footage, so to speak. So, I guess for today, that's the thing.